All right. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. This is Jeff with Fluent American checking in, and we're going to be working on an IELTS Task 2 for speaking, and then also an IELTS Task 2 for writing. Now, for the writing, we're going to be focusing on the brainstorm and the outline because my son is taking a nap and he could wake up at any moment, so we're going to just do what we can with time. You can see in the document, which I've provided links to, already some of the things that we're going to be working on, including the task 2 for speaking. Now, again, if you haven't taken the IELTS test before or you've taken it maybe a long time ago, just a reminder that for task 2, you receive a prompt, you get 1 minute to prepare, and then basically you need to try to speak for 2 minutes. It's okay if you speak for less time. Don't feel like you have to fill the full 2 minutes. The examiner is going to try to get you to talk for that long. But if you give a shorter answer and you feel pretty confident about what you said, it's perfectly fine if you give a shorter response. At the same time, if you give a short response and you think that you gave lots of mistakes, then maybe it would be better to try to fill up more of that time. Just a quick heads up. But yeah, so we're going to be working through this. I'll be checking the stream every now and then, just make sure there are any comments and things like that. So yeah, let me know if anything is not certain. Okay, so let's take a look at our prompt. So we're going to talk about something that we enjoy doing in a group. Say what it was, when you did it, with whom you did it, and how you felt about it. Okay, and the key thing with this is that these bullet point questions, you don't necessarily have to answer them. The key question is the first one. Okay, so when it says talk about something you enjoy doing in a group, that's really the part you need to be focusing on. Okay, the other bullet points, it's nice if you answer them, but they're more kind of just to guide you if you get stuck. Okay, the important thing is that you address the main topic, something you enjoy doing in a group. Okay, all right, so what I suggest for task 2, when you have that minute to prepare, I suggest writing down keywords that you can discuss for about 10 to 15 seconds each. So let's kind of start our time. Let's see what our time is. I'm going to start at the 30 mark. Just keep it even. Okay, so I'm going to try to end at 28:30. Great. So something you enjoy doing in a group. Let's talk about what group I did. So I did something called oh, that's going crazy. 1 sec on that. I did something called pre-orientation when I was in college, which was basically like a service-oriented group. Who I did it with, I actually did it with my future wife, a person I eventually married, along with lots of other people. What did we do? We did different types of volunteer activities. For instance, Habitat for Humanity, which we'll discuss. With some other things that we did. We also did kind of like landscaping type stuff, demolition. And the last quick keyword, how I felt about it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. All right. So those are the main things I'm going to be talking about. So again, for each of these points, my goal is to try to speak for about 15, 20, 30 seconds. All right, and let's start our time. Let's see where we're at. Okay, so we're at the 45 mark. Okay, so I'm going to try to speak until 2:30:50. 2:30:50. Okay, so something that I enjoyed doing in a group was my freshman, sophomore, and senior year of college. My junior year, I was abroad, so I couldn't participate. I did something in school that was called pre-orientation. So basically, this was before the official start time for school. They basically have students come in and get familiar with the campus, get to know new people. It's kind of a relaxed setting just to kind of get you back into the school spirit, into getting ready for what's about to start for the next semester. And you do that through volunteer different projects. They bring in, you basically had to apply for it. They accepted you. And once you're accepted, you're with about maybe 20 to 30 other people split across 2 different teams. And what you're doing that time is you're basically doing different types of volunteer projects. So for instance, the school I was at, they had it was almost like a farm slash garden center. So you did like some landscaping work there to help them out. You also engage in like some demolition work sometimes in some of the houses downtown that they wanted to renovate, or even working in the opposite respect, like with Habitat for Humanity, where you would actually be building houses for members of the community. So basically, you're doing these types of projects throughout the year. Not even a year. It's pretty much like a 2-week period, and then once that's done, again, the semester starts. And honestly, it was a really rewarding experience. The people there are super friendly. Like I mentioned before, I actually met my future wife. I didn't know, obviously, that she's going to be my wife at the time. But that's how things work out sometimes. But also, especially like if you're a freshman and you're not used to the college campus, it's a great opportunity because you get used to being at the school before classes start. So you already kind of establish a network of friends, whereas most new students kind of have to start from scratch as soon as they arrive. Okay, so that's a quick example of my task 2. Again, talking about my pre-orientation experience in college. If you guys have questions about task 2s or things like that, be sure to let me know. Again, I'm checking the chat box every now and then. But besides that, we're going to then drop down into our task 2 for writing. And again, of course, if you have questions about writing, be sure to let me know as well. All right, so let's drop down a little bit and take a look and see. And this one is talking about culture. Let me zoom in a bit. So some people believe that to protect local culture, tourism should be banned. Others people think that change is inevitable and banning tourism will have no benefits. Discuss both sides and give your opinion. Okay, so when you have these discuss both views type of essays, I really suggest making a brainstorm for both sides. Now, if you're not used to brainstorms and things like that, just to kind of highlight some things really quick. I have on my site a course dedicated to IELTS. These are things I normally teach in classes. I know a lot of people not always in a position where you can afford classes and things like that. So these videos are designed to kind of give you a much more affordable option for learning about IELTS and doing well on the test. And this is the same type of content I actually go over in class. But you can see we have a separate video for brainstorming. We have a separate one for outlining and things like that. So if you're looking just for some quick information about different parts of the test, especially for task 2, I definitely encourage these videos. They go through all the content that I go over in class. And again, you can find them at fluentamerican.com and clicking on the IELTS section here. Okay, but just to kind of highlight a couple of quick things about brainstorming. Again, not going to go over everything that's in that video because there's lots of good stuff there for you to check out. But let's just do a real quick brainstorm for this. I would suggest for discuss both views, you want to make 2 actual brainstorms, one for both sides. So let's do a brainstorm for the tourism should be banned. That's right, wrote panned. And then another one for tourism should not be banned. Or because it won't change anything. Great, okay. And I normally, again, suggest for brainstorm, I'd suggest coming up with 4 different ideas. Okay, so let's think of a couple reasons why we think tourism should be banned. And we're talking in relation to culture. Maybe first of all, people can be disrespectful. Another reason, people may engage in like appropriation, which I guess could be tied into disrespect. Let's see if we can come up with at least 1 or 2 more. Tourism should also be banned. And again, we're talking about protecting local culture. So like maybe like tourists bring their own culture with them. So it's almost like a form of like contamination of sorts. And then lastly, let's see if we can think of one more. Maybe like culture adapts to the tourist culture. So you're not actually, maybe it makes it less authentic. Okay, so those are my 4 reasons why I think tourism, we could argue tourism should be banned. Tourism should not be banned because it won't have any effect. I don't know, maybe people will still find a way to these areas if they are so motivated. Okay, so like if someone really wants something, it's very difficult. It can be much more difficult to stop. Maybe like costs involved to prevent people from reaching sites. You know, like, are you making fences? Are you creating like controls or things like that? You know, how are you stopping people from going exactly? So those are some things to consider. So different costs involved. Maybe the sites will also lose money. Be cool. Maybe without the tourism industry. Okay, and I think for our purposes, we can stop there. If you could think of a 4th one, that would be great, but it's not necessary. Just want to make sure no one's asking any questions and things. If you can think of a 4th one, that's great, but it's not necessary. If you can only think of 3. When you're doing these brainstorms, again, you want to at least come up with 3. Okay. Now you're going to do 2 separate brainstorms, and I notice that you're going to think, oh, this is taking time, but this is helping you plan. This is going to help your task achievement. This is going to help your coherence and cohesion, because you're already going to have an idea of what you're going to say. You're going to have an essay that's going to feel a lot more put together than a lot of the other essays that your examiners are going to be reading. The other advantage of having both of these brainstorms is that when you're just doing like a to what extent do you agree type essay, you have to then think about all your main ideas and things like that. But when you have these discuss both views and you have 2 brainstorms, you already have your main ideas. So this is, in some ways, it's actually saving you time for your outline. Okay, and again, if you're not familiar with outlinings, I really suggest taking a look at one of our other videos or taking a look at our video here, because there's lots of little things about outlines that you kind of want to keep in mind. So just don't lose sight of that. But we're going to be focusing again on topic sentences, which again are explained in the video, so I'm not going to go into too much depth on that here. Also main ideas and details. As always, I suggest having 2 main ideas per body paragraph. And remember, every body paragraph needs, every main idea needs a detail. So don't forget that. That's pretty key. So this is all going to be for body paragraph 1. And then we're going to do that again for body paragraph 2. So I'll just write a 1 for body paragraph 1, and I'll write a 2 for body paragraph 2. So again, topic sentence, main idea, detail, main idea, detail. Great. Okay, so now we want to start thinking about which ideas we're going to focus on. So maybe I'll focus on maybe the local culture adapts. So then you're not, it's changing the local culture, right? It's no longer the local culture. And maybe disrespect. And then for the other topic, maybe I'll talk about it costs money to prevent people. And then additionally, they're losing money because people aren't spending, tourist dollars there. Okay. So let's maybe do an outline here. I'll leave one of these open. And then what you guys can do, if you're interested, in the comments, you can post your own topic sentences, main ideas, and details for the other body paragraph. And you can kind of let me know, and I'll be happy to check them in the comments. Okay, so we'll work on one outline here today. And then what you can do is try to make a little outline for one of the other body paragraphs down here. And you can either use the ideas I posted up here, or you can make up your own. I'm fine with either, whatever is easier for you. Okay, so I'm going to actually do the second one. So tourism should not be banned because it won't change anything, or there's no benefits. Okay, so however, and let's say that this is the author's opinion. Okay, so you want to make sure, when you're doing this, discuss both views and give your opinion. You want to make sure that your opinion is always clear. You don't want the examiner to have any doubts about what your position is. So tourism should not be banned because it won't change anything. So I'm going to add something here. Let's say this is the author's opinion. Okay. So however, the reality is that banning tourism makes little sense because it economically harms the tourist site and also costs money to prevent people from coming. Okay. Maybe just adjust a word like makes little sense, like especially from an economic point of view, because the tourist site loses money and it also costs money to prevent people from coming. Okay. And again, when you're making the outline, you don't have to have the perfect word choice. You don't have to have perfect grammar. You're just trying to get ideas down. Okay, I wrote a complete sentence here, but it's not necessary to write a complete sentence here. Save that for the actual writing of the essay. If you feel like you can do it quickly, go for it. But the outline is just to write quick ideas. You want this to take about 5 to 7 minutes. You don't want this to take 20 minutes. That's going to take too long. Okay. So sites lose money, lose tourists, don't arrive or spend it. Okay. So maybe we can give a quick example, like artisans, restaurants. Let's see if we can think of one more. Tour guides hired to, like the tourism industry won't have work. Okay, and again, this is just a quick example. We're just writing some ideas down. Right, not a complete sentence. Okay. So notice again, we have our main idea here, and then we explain it a little bit more. And our second main idea, tourist sites cost money to prevent people from coming. It's like it takes equipment and resources to stop visitors. So like fences, officers or rangers to stop people. You have to pay for patrols, etc. Okay. So again, notice I'm just writing ideas down. When I would actually write the essay, I could actually go into more detail. This is just to give me an idea about what I want to say. It doesn't have to be perfect. That's not the goal. The goal is a little bit different here. Okay? All right. And again, if you guys have other questions about that, feel free to leave some in the comments. But this is the outline I would use for this first one, or picking for this body paragraph here. So again, if you are working on this at home, I would say take that second part. So tourism should be banned. And again, either using my ideas or using your own, what I would suggest is seeing if you can complete this outline here. And again, if you want some more information about outlines, you're not sure what a topic sentence is, what makes a good topic sentence, what's a detail, what's the main idea, check out that video. Also, a quick reminder of some other things too. If you look on the side, you can see we have some things coming up. So for instance, we have a Telegram pronunciation group that is completely free to access. If you want some information about that, just leave a note in the comments and I'll let you know how to join. Also, we have an intonation workshop coming up on the 17th. That costs $5 to join. If you're interested in joining that, be sure to let me know as well. Just post something in the comments and I'll try to get it to you. Basically, that is going to be analyzing a conversation between native speakers and trying to see what are they doing in terms of intonation, pronunciation, stress, linking, everything like that. So that way you can see what native speakers are doing and then apply it to your own speaking. That's the goal with those workshops. And again, that's going to be happening on Saturday. We have an example native view video. So if you're not sure about what the native view session is like, take a look at our video on that. So that way you can kind of see, oh, this is how it works. This is something I'm interested in. I want to register for the next one. Great. So those are just a couple of quick things to pay attention to. If you want more information about any of them, just leave a note in the comments and I'll try to respond as soon as possible. But guys, thank you so much for your time. I will see you in a future video. Have a good day, have a good night, have a good afternoon, and take care.